Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the online video lecture on the new model, that is LPP, that is part 2. In this video lecture that we are going to discuss the how to solve the LPP problem by using simplex method. In the previous video lecture that you have discussed how we need to bring the problems into the simplex method format, that is standard format, okay, and as well as introduction to the LPP. Now in this video that we are going to solve the problem by using simplex method. Now this is the first problem he has given, that is maximization, that is z equals to 3x1 plus 3x1 plus 2x2 subjected to x1 plus x2 less than or equals to 4, x1 minus x2 less than or equals to 2, x1 and x2 greater than or equals to 0. Please check it whether this problem is under the standard format. Now it is a maximization type. We can solve by simplex method. Maximization type is there, as well as the in the constraints equation we are having less than or equal signs is there. Okay, now this problem is under under the standard form. Now we need to convert this problem into standard format in the first step, that is we take only the objective function, that is z equals to 3x1 plus 2x2. Here we are having two variables x1 and x2, so that we can write the objective function z equation. We can write z equals that is 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 0s1 plus 0s2. Suppose if we are having three variables, then we can add 0s1 plus 0s2 plus 0s3. okay. Now when it comes to the constraint subjected to, the first constraint it is x1 plus x2 plus s1 equals to 4. We need to convert that inequality into equations here. The first constraint x1 plus x2 plus s1 equals to 4. Here we can add the s1 to the first constraint. Now comes to the second constraint, x1 minus x2 plus s2 equals to 2. okay, here we have converted inequalities into equations, okay, by adding s1 equals to the first constraint, and second constraint we are adding s2. All these variables x1 x2 s1 s2 are greater than or equals to 0. Now come to this table. This is very important here. Now see here, c1 c2 c3 c4, these are all represented by columns. r1 r2 r3 r4, these are all represented by rows. okay. Now in the first row, okay, in the first row write down co. okay, in the first row c2 column write down that is co, that is coefficients of objective function. Here can you tell me the coefficients of objective function? See here, maximum z equals to 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 0s1 plus 0s2. Objective function of the coefficient equation. Coefficients. Okay. Okay, for x1 coefficient is 3, for x2 coefficient is 2, for s1 it is 0, for s2 is again 0. Just you are written in the r1 row coefficients. Now in coming to the r2, that is basic variables objective function, just write down x1 x2 s1 s2. okay. Now in the next, that is c7 column, you can write RHS. Next c8 is, that is ratio. okay. In the first column we have written the coefficients of the objective function x1 x2 s1 s2. In the second row just you have written the basic variables, that is basic objective functions, that is c3 is x1, c4 is x2, c5 s1 and c6 s2. Next it is RHS and ratio. Now coming to the constraints, okay, that is R3 row. Okay, now coming to the R3 row, now comes to the, that is constraints. Okay, x1 plus x2 plus s1 equals to 4 is there. Okay, we can write, that is for the objective function, that is you can take s1 for R3, s1 equals to 0 for the objective function. Okay, objective function is maximization z equation. For that one s1 is 0 is there, so that you can take for R3 s1 equals to 0. Now coming to the constraint, for x1 coefficient is 1 is there in the R3 row, just write down below the x1, that is 1 coefficient. For x2 again it is 1 is there. For s1 coefficient is 1 is there, and there is no s2 in the first constraint, so that you can take 0. And when it comes to the RHS side, you can take 4. Okay, now comes to the R4 row. Similarly, write down for second constraint, that is he has given x1 minus x2 plus s2 equals to 2, so that you can write in the objective function R4 row s2 is 0. Write down in the x1 column, that is C3, write down x1, that is how much is there, 1 is there for second constraint. And for the C4 column, we can write minus 1 is there for x2. And s1, you don't have s1 in the second constraint, so that you can take 0 at the C5, s1 0, and s2 is 1. Now RHS side, it is in the second constraint, that is 2 is there. Okay, now coming to the R5. Okay, now in the ratio column, don't write anything. After calculation of the z equation in the row 5, after calculating that one, we can come to the again ratio column. Okay, now coming to the R5, here it is z equation, write down in the basic variable in this column 1, we can write for the R5 row, write down z equation. Okay, how we are going to find out these values? Okay, minus 3 minus 2 0 0, by using a formula is there. For that formula is z equation equals to, that is summation of coefficient of the objective function into xa minus co. That means for the z equation, okay, C3 column, who got minus 3. How it comes means, we can add, that is R3 row. Okay, for s1 it is 0, x1 is 1, 0 into 1. And for R4 row, s2 equals to 0 is there, and x1 is 1 is there, 0 into 1, 0 into 1 plus 0 into 1. For x1, the coefficient is how much it is there? See at the row 1 top side, x1 the coefficient, the main objective in the objective function, coefficient is 3 is there. Okay, so that 0 into 1 plus 0 into 1 minus 3, that will gives the C3 column in the z equation row minus 3. Okay, similarly for the z equation R5 row, C4 column we got minus 2. How it comes means, see in the R3 row, s1 is 0 is there. Okay, 0 is there. For x2 it is 1 is there below in the R3 row, 0 into 1. And comes to the R4 row, s2 is 0, for x2 is minus 1 is there, 0 into 1 plus 0 into minus 1 of minus, see the x2 at the top side, R1 row 2 is there, minus 2, that will gives the minus 2. Okay, similarly we can calculate for the z equation for C5 column and C6 column. Okay, now see here in the z equation row, that is R5 row, you got the negative values. Suppose if you got the positive values, then where the solution is ends. If you got the negative values, next we need to improve that solution, it indicates. Suppose if you got positive values, the solution ends there only. Okay, here we got negative values, so that we need to go for further. Now in the R5 row Z equation, so we got -3, -2, 0, 0. Now we need to take the value of which one is the maximum negative value, that is -3. Okay, who encircle that -3 column, where we got -3 column, that you got C3 column. Okay, that column we can call it as entry column. C3 column we can call it as entry column. How we are going to find out the entry column means, see the in the R5 row we got the maximum negative value at the C3 column, so that we can encircle that column. That column we can call it as entry column. Okay, now in the entry column for R3 row we got the encircle that column. Okay, what are the elements coming under that encircle? For R3 it is 1, R4 it is also the element is 1. Now coming to the ratio here, ratio column, RHS side we have written, that is RHS in the C7 column. For R3 row we have written RHS is 4. For that one, in the ratio column we can take the RHS value 4 divided by, okay, see the element which is coming under the n circle, that is entry column C3 column. The elements are coming under the n circle, that is 1 is there for R3, so 4 by 1, that will give 4. Similarly for the R4 row, that is the elements are coming under n's circle, that is for the C3 column entry column is 1 is there, that RHS value is 2, 2 divided by 1, that will give 2. Now in that one, in the ratio column 4 we got 4 and 2. Among these two positive values, which one is the minimum positive values? 2. Okay, we got at R4 row, so that we can encircle that row. Okay, that row we can call it as living row. Okay, living row means that row we don't consider in the further step. Okay, that is we can call it as living row. Okay, in the ratio column we got the value 4 and 2. In that values we can select the minimum positive values. Okay, for that positive value you can encircle that row. That row you can call it as living row. Okay, now coming to the R6, sorry, here that is R6 and R7 rows are there. We can take here some, we need to be changes here. We can take first x1, that is R7 as R6 here. Okay, x1. Okay, we can take x1, and R6 row that we can take it for R7. Okay, now we got the in the R5 row Z equation, we need to further go for further step. Okay, that indicates that we are going to delete the S2 row. Instead of in S2 row, that we are going to enter the values of entry column, that is x1. Okay, C3 column we can call it as entry column, and S2 row we can call it as living row. We are deleting the living row, that is S2 row. Okay, by entering the C3 column. Okay, C3 column is, that is x1 column. Okay, now in the R6 row he has written S1, so don't write there S1, you can write x1. Okay, x1 NPE. Okay, okay, that is NPE, new pivot equation we can call it as. Okay, the formula is, write down here, old equation element divided by key element. Okay, new pivot equation is given by the formula old equation element divided by key element. Okay, now R6 we can write x1 NPE, new pivot equation. Okay, x1. Now x1, the basic objective function is 3. Okay, now we can use the formula, that is old equation element divided by key element here. Okay, old equation element we got here 1. See here, for the x1 that is old equation element is 1. Okay, now the key element means the intersection of the n circle row of the row and n circle of the column, okay, that you are intersected at R4 C3, that is at 1. Okay, that you can call it as key element. Okay, and your old element is, that is 1 is there. Okay, 1 divided by 1, that will gives 1. Please check it, R7 x1 NPE. In the C2 column we can write the 3 because the x1 coefficient in the objective function is 3, and for this one C3 column we can apply the formula, that is old equation element divided by key element. Old equation element is 1 and key element is, that is intersection of the entry column and living row, that key element, that you are getting 1. Okay, old element means, see the R3 row, the x1 is 1 is there. Okay, 1 divided by 1, 1 is there. Now coming to the R7 row, that is C4 column. Okay, apply the again this formula, that is old element, see the S2 row R4 minus 1 is there, divided by key element is always, that is 1, minus 1 divided by 1, that is minus 1. Similarly do it for the C5 and C6 column for the X1 row, and RHS who are getting 2 there. Now coming to the S1, that is R6. Okay, R6. Now the S1 is in the objective function, that is 0 is there. Okay, here for the C3 column again we need to apply the formula for this one R6 row S1, that is old element minus a entering column coefficient minus corresponding new pivot equation element. Please remember, old element minus old element here for the S1 is 1 is there, for the X1 1, minus its entering column coefficient. Entry column coefficient is, here it is 1 is there. Okay, which is coming under the, that is circle, entry column circle. Okay, that is 1 is there, that is 1 minus 1 into 1. Okay, corresponding new pivot equation. Okay, how much it is there, 1 is there. Okay, 1 minus 1 into 1, that will brings 0, so that we are written 0 here. For similarly for C the C4 R6 row and C4 column, that you are getting 2 value. How you are getting 2 value means, see here, see the old element, that is S1, for the X2 below it is 1 is there. Okay, that is old element 1 minus okay, the elements coming under the coefficient of entry column, that is 1. Okay, which is coming under entry column C3 column n circle, that is 1 is there. 1 minus into the new equation, pivot equation that you got in the row 7, that is minus 1 is there. Okay, that you got 2 here. Okay, similarly do it for C5 C6, that you are getting RHS side is also 2. Okay, now how we are going to find out the R7 X1 and new pivot equations values? By using old equation element divided by key element. And for the S1 row elements, how we are getting, that is the using the formula old element minus entering the new column coefficient into corresponding new pivot equation element. Okay, now again go for the find outing the R8 values, R row 8 Z equations values. Okay, next x1 is 0, x1 column here it is 0, for x1 that is main objective column is 3, and C3 column it is 1, so that 0 into 0 plus 3 into 1 of the main objective function x1 is, that is minus 3, that will brings 0 here. Similarly apply for the x2 column, and for the c5 column and next c6 column again we are getting the negative value minus 5, so that we can select the negative value, highest maximum negative value that is occurs at c4 column, and encircle those values that you can call it as entry column. C4 column we can call it as entry column, and for those entry column, the entry column elements, that is elements coming under the circle 2 and minus 1, so that for the r6 row RHS side is 2 is there, 2 divided by 2, the 2 is coming under, that is the circle element, so 2 by 2 1 now here it is also the end circle element, that is minus 1, RHS side is 2 is there, 2 divided by minus 1, again here minus 2. Now we need to select the among the positive values which one is the minimum. We are getting only one is there, 1. What that is row we can encircle. R6 row we can encircle, though that row we can call it as living row. Okay, living row. That indicates what? By deleting the S1 R6 row, and we are replacing by that row by the C4 column, that is entry column, so that for C4 column that is represented by x2, so that we are written x2, that is again new pivot equation. We can apply the formula again, that is old equation element divided by key element. For the below R10 x1 we can apply the formula, that is old element minus its element entering column coefficient into corresponding new pivot equation element. Again we are getting same procedure we can follow. In the R11 row Z equation we are getting all positive values. Okay, all positive values, so that the solution ends here. That means see the RHS side at the R9, that is x2 value is 1, R10 x1 value is 3, that is in the RHS column C. Okay, R9 row we are getting 1, that is x2, R10 x1 is 3. These values we are going to put in the objective function. Okay, objective function 3x1 plus 2x2 plus x1 we got 3 and x2 got 1, z equals to 11. Okay, z equals to we got 11. Okay, now these are the steps which I explained in the previous slide. There's they are given in these all steps you can refer. Okay, okay, the final solution, that is z equals to 11 we are getting. Okay, thank you.